Hola, buenas, hi, good morning. Oh, baby, it is a good morning. It is a good morning. A bitch can breathe. Who else can breathe? I can breathe. I am. Oh, you know who can't breathe? That's a bad joke. Yeah, I'll let y'all finish that. Anyway, um, today is a good morning, and for those who have been paying attention and who know, I'm okay. In Granada. I am okay. I live in Granada and I am okay. I know that we have been in the news, internationally, I'm sure. Well, internationally, but then I don't know if the United States, news outlets are saying anything because, like, the international community kind of knows, but then, that does not include the United States. They're in their own bubble. They have their own things to worry about. But yes, we did have an earthquake over here, more than one actually. And is it scary for someone who deals with hurricanes, who has dealt with her? I don't deal with them anymore. Who has dealt with hurricanes growing up? Yeah, yeah. It's a new list of instructions on how to survive, what to do, the science behind it. It's a lot of learning for sure. But I'm not terrified by it. I'm not totally turned off. I'm not like, oh my god, I want to get out of here. It like makes sense. I'm by a mountain range. Like mountains don't come from nowhere. So it's seismic activity, buddy. But I'm fine. That was the basis of that. That was just to get to the gist of that. I'm fine. Um, but today I just wanted to talk about some things that I've been talking about in my circles and some, I don't want to say like advice, but if you take it as advice, this is also like for me too, just so I can get it in my brain. Uh, but there was a few things. I was talking to my friend on a FaceTime. I like to do FaceTimes more than calls if we're going to be talking for a while because I want to see your face. I want you to see my face, see how I'm reacting. I can see how you're reacting. Because phone calls are nice. Like phone calls, I can do that, but a phone call is like, it's less than an hour. Less than 30 minutes. Let's try to keep it less than 30 minutes. If we're at an hour mark, I should have seen your face. That's just my logic. Um, but one of the things that I've been talking about is, oh my god, it's a huge fucking fan. Oh my god. It's like the only thing being outside of nature. Um, one of the things was ignoring causes more problems and more hurt than a actual response to that, whatever it is you're ignoring. However, it is only that case if the response was not ignoring it. See what I'm saying? So I wrote it down in Spanish. Ignorar causa más daño que una respuesta. Pero si la respuesta verdaderamente no es ignorar. I'll say that because I put that in there because sometimes the answer to what you are facing is to step away. It is to step away. And it can be considered ignoring. Yeah. I'm ignoring the negative energy that you are giving. Let's say if it's a person. Yes, I am now ignoring that. I am not letting that penetrate my bubble of positivity because you are fucking negative. No, I am going to ignore that. But you have to make sure that that is the final answer and you're not leaving things to be said. And I say that because there's like these gay guys looking at me. There's an old gay couple looking at me. It always feels kind of weird when they look at me because I know they're gonna have a fight later at home. because it's like, why did you look at him? Why you look at him first? See, these are things that we should ignore. That's something y'all should talk about. Don't ignore that. Talk about it. And do I have things that are still unattended that I definitely have been ignoring? That definitely has caused, I'm sure, more problems that I haven't seen yet? Yeah. Yep. Sue me. Yes, that is what has happened. But I'm getting better at recognizing that, and then and recognizing, okay, what did I leave that was ignored, and just like that was the final answer, and what do I actually need to attend to and not leave unattended, and like, stop ignoring it. So yeah, and it's definitely avoidant. When you're ignoring, it's definitely avoidant, and it's, if you want to be selfish about it, it doesn't just hurt them, it hurts you, because you leave this unhealed wound that never scabs over, and it just keeps getting infected, and it just keeps getting all that gunk in it, and it's just like, are you gonna go get that like arm chopped off, checked out? Like, girl. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. So yeah. Ignorar causa más daño que una respuesta. Pero si la respuesta verdaderamente no es ignorar. You see? Do you see? Okay. Ugh. I have so much hair on my body that I can feel when something, a foreign entity is on me. So I just felt something weird. Sorry. The next thing is just more an observation, and this is the complexity of our emotion and our feelings, just the depth of it and how it can be felt on a physical level. And I was on another phone call, and I was talking to my friend, and I was saying how as we know, I've lived in Chicago. That was the last place I lived in before I moved. Oh my god. Ugh. See, I knew it. I knew something was crawling. How did it get on my fucking shoulder? You crawl on my butt. Right. I don't know how it got on my shoulder. But anyway. Oh god. Oh my god. As we know, or if you don't know, I have lived in Chicago before. That is the place I lived last before I moved internationally and before I moved to Spain. So Chicago was definitely, I would say, one of the best places I've ever lived in. It is a city I can recommend to almost anybody. Highly, highly recommend it to trans brothers and sisters, to other people in the LGBTQIA plus community, to everybody. Really. That's everybody. No, but seriously, it is an amazing city. I would almost recommend it to everybody, but it's only, and everyone says this, it's just the winter. Can you handle winter? In my theory, my belief is that there is no wrong season, only wrong clothes. So that is that. But I have a hard time doing something that I love, and in regards to Chicago, relating to Chicago. And that is, I love to look at maps. I love to look at maps. I am a Google Earth, Google Maps, Apple Maps whore. I love to look at these applications, and just I go all around the world, and I love looking at cities and their parks, their transit, just their neighborhoods, the design, everything. I love it. And ever since moving to Spain, I have a hard time. I was admitting to her, I have a hard time doing that for Chicago because it's just a gut wrenching feeling, and it almost feels like a loss. Sometimes it feels like I'm cheating on where I'm living right now in Granada. Sometimes I feel like, oh my God, like, am I not appreciating where I live? And it's a lot. Like, I just get like physically sick. And I, ugh, I hate it. I don't like the feeling. And it's a lot. It's a lot of layered emotions. And so I was telling her this, I was confiding in her, and she told me, she said, Gabby, you know, you are allowed to miss a place and appreciate where you are right now, right? And I'm like, ah, like, yes, I do know that. Like, thank you for putting the words out there and saying, like, yes, you're right, I do know that. But I realized, I think it's just like the tiredness, and it just is so costly for me to to feel everything. Ugh. Yeah. It is so exhausting to feel everything. To feel this range of and depth of emotion that I have for the city. And I think I just wanted to kind of ignore that. Tying back into the other one. I think I wanted to ignore it. I think I just wanted to, nope, not even gonna look at it. Not even gonna look at it. Not even gonna feel it. And that wasn't right. It wasn't right. It was, it was just making it more and more of a hard thing to do because I was ignoring it. And it was definitely out of my own laziness because I'm like, I just don't want to feel all these emotions. Like, this is just too much. And that's what I was saying, that it ends up doing more harm than good when you ignore for certain things. So that's like definitely one of them. It definitely affected me. I have gotten better. When she said that, I kind of was like, you know what? You're right. So then I did start looking at the map more, and I started remembering places, and I let myself feel those emotions, the happiness of memories I had, the sadness of memories I had of also missing that place of, I just let myself feel it. So I'm happy I had that conversation and was able to construct that, with her. Another thing relating to the complexity of emotions and all that, and just how it can be kind of, it sounds better in Spanish. Que me cuesta mucho sentir todo esto. But in English, I'm like, it costs me. Well, I guess it does. I don't know. It doesn't sound right. It costs of me to do this. It takes a toll. There we go. Maybe that's better. But the other thing this was another friend. I talked to so many different people for like different subjects and stuff. But this one was talking about my past relationship that I was in. And, the past relationship that I was in, my ex-boyfriend, he's my first love. I'm just gonna right off the bat. That was my first love. Still is my first love. And, first love is always gonna hit you hard when it ends. And, some people do get to keep their first love until they, die. And I'm so happy for them. That's fucking great, bitch. Choke on a cock. No, I'm just kidding. But, but we were both young. We were both very young. And when you're unexperienced in handling a relationship with love, just love in general, you tend to hurt yourself and each other. And there were times where things did get out of hand. And like, we have talked about a lot of these things, and I really can't put like a blame game on on any of us because it takes two to tango. And we both came from hurt family dynamics and environments, and that's not an excuse, but a it's some insight into how things happened and why things happen. Like, it didn't just come from nowhere. Like, kids don't learn this from nowhere. So, there were times where things would get violent for just how it was. Things would get violent between us, and then things would get better. But then when things would get better, and let's say like with sex, we try to have sex, he was fine and he could get past things. But me, I could not emotionally separate the person who was hurting me from the person who then wanted to, make love with me, have sex with me. And I just had a really, 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 really hard time doing that. And I thought my sex drive was low. No, babe, my sex drive was not low. No. It's just, I could not mentally make that separation because every time I could see the person, who, was loving me, loving on me, I could also in an instant see the person who had so much hate in their eyes for me. It felt like, and I say it felt like because when we would talk about it, and I would say that, like, it just looks like you like hated me. Um, he would say like, no, I didn't hate you. Like, well, that's what it fucking looked like. um, but I, I just feel like relating to that, it's easier to stay longer in the relationship and ignore how you're actually feeling, and then it leading to other problems, because then it's like, do you not love me? Like, why don't you want to have sex with me? And it's like, no, I do, but I also don't. And I just ignored it. And it led to more problems until, like, this wasn't the reason why we broke up, but we later then broke up. And that was something that had to be confronted and talked about. Uh, so yeah. And it makes me wonder. I don't have regrets, and I believe things worked out the way it did, but it makes me wonder, like, darn it, if I would have talked my feelings through and actually, worked as a team, would things turn out differently? Maybe. Um, if I hadn't ignored it, kept it suppressed, and just had it racing in my mind alone, and not seeking any help with, like, not just from my partner, but also like asking friends and family, like, hey, like, have you experienced this? Do you know how to handle this? So yeah, just things I wonder about. But yeah, those are, for me at least, that's what I've been thinking about when thinking about the complexity and just the exhaustive. Oh my gosh, like, it's so exhausting feeling. It really is. And especially if you are someone like me who feels so, so intensely. And I'm like, do other people not feel this much? Like, shit hurts me. Shit really, really hurts me. I don't want to say hurt. You know what? Take that back. Words have meaning. Things affect me. Things can impact me a lot. Because it might not be hurt all the time. It might be in a good way. Yeah. And then this is the last thing. And this one was less about me, but more about one of my friends who was calling me. And oh my God, I think I just made my tongue bleed. My teeth are so, that's kind of gross. But yeah, I am bleeding a little bit. My tongue. My teeth are so sharp that when I talk, and I feel, this is my theory, I feel that as though that when I switch between talking in English and Spanish, a lot like the way your mouth moves has to change when you're talking in different languages. So I think that sometimes my teeth and my jaw and my tongue, it just gets kind of needs to get like calibrated and recalibrated. Just that in that moment of recalibration, I bite down on the side of my tongue. It's a little weird. But the last thing I wanted to talk about was that my friend was calling me, and this was like more about what she was going through, and and troubles with an ex of hers, lesbian drama. Girl, if anything, it's way juicier than gay man drama. I'm like, this shit is tough. Fuck. Um. I feel better. Um, but this was I named it this. Or identified it as this. The senseless. Oh, okay, there we go. Found it. I see it in Spanish. I'm like, how do I say that in English? The sensualization, no, not sense. The sensationalizing relationships. And there are people who like the hunt more than the actual relationship. And this is something that does not, like, discovering something new. It's just I'm not talking about. But it's interesting how, especially now, people, it seems as though that are more worried about the hunt and the, I don't know, the chase rather than the actual relationship. Like, people are more interested in the drama and the whole cat and mouse race, where it's just like, can we sit down and actually create something with depth and like profoundness? And it just seems as though some people are not interested in that. It just seems, yeah, I don't want to say everyone, that's definitely not true, because then there are people who are on the other end who are like, I want to create something real. And I like, I seriously think this, a lot of things, a lot of things could be solved with education, with a good education. And people lack that. People lack a good education, and not just in these capitalist inked school systems tell you what is an education. Like, yes, your maths, your reading, your science, yes, that is okay. Yes, it is education, correct. But more about emotional maturity, social well-being, and things that are actually useful in day-to-day life. Yes, math is useful up to algebra 1 in a common person's life. Yes, I understand. And all the gen ed shit. Okay, forget that. Whatever. But I seriously think there needs to be an education reform in the aspect of emotional maturity, how you are in a social setting, how as a citizen, that's what I mean. You as a citizen. And I was fortunate enough to be, I don't even know what the real name of that class was. I literally called it nice class, how to be nice. It was in high school. And I mean, that class, I actually really enjoyed it because it gave you a space, like, and people would call the work stupid and dumb because it's like, why are we even doing this? Like, this is just about being a good person. Oh my god, a spider. Here, wait, if you go on my finger, I'll let you live. Okay. There we go. I'll let you live. It went on my finger and I let it live. I put it in the grass. See, spiders, I have a hard time killing, especially if they're small. They remind me of Charlotte's Web. Um, but like I really really think that education can solve so much shit. Like I just think a lot of people don't have the critical thinking skills, don't know what it means to be a good citizen, and it's not necessarily their fault. You know, I think there is a duty in the government to educate their people, and if you know you want a successful society and you want a society that can sustain itself in the most healthy way, then like maybe you should fund education. But yeah, this is these are my thoughts. These have been my unfiltered thoughts these past 3 days now. And I just wanted to let you in on that and let you be here with me and sit with me and oh my god, that's so shiny. And a little picnic. This is our little setup. This is what we got going on. um thank you for thanks for watching. Uh and yeah, thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a good start to their weekend this Friday. Please stay safe. Okay. Bye. Pigeons discover onion rings. Come on, get them again. You see the onion rings? Come on. Pick it up again. Try to get it. Try to get it. Come on, get it. Get the onion ring. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, they can't. It's too big. They can't eat it. Oh, my gosh. Meow.